Hi there, I'm Kim Berry from Food and Drink Business. Welcome to another episode of our Let's Talk Asia. I'm joined by Cameron Gordon from Incite, and today we're going to talk about Thailand. Hi, Cameron.
Hi, Kim. How are you doing today?
I am very well indeed.
Well,
Now, Thailand, can you give us a bit of a snapshot? What the demographics, and are there any particular economic factors or cultural issues that are at play?
Okay, yeah. So Thailand, obviously, when you look at the ASEAN region as a whole, you have a real diversity of countries in terms of sophistication, spending, regulations, all these types of things. So, Thailand is, I would say, one of I'd say somewhere in the middle in terms of emerging markets. Obviously, you've got developed markets such as Singapore. Malaysia is getting there as well, obviously, and then you have obviously markets like Indonesia and the Philippines, which are very much still emerging, and then you have and then you have Thailand as well. So there is a place that Thailand occupies within the region that differs from all the other ASEAN markets, I think. In terms of snapshots, demographics, you've got a large consumer population in Thailand.
Mm-hmm.
You've got quite a scattered population. Obviously, Thailand is a country of islands, obviously. So supply chain, to all those regions, it poses some challenges.
I was just going to say it might be a bit of a headache, particularly for some products.
Yeah, I mean, typically brands will focus on the major centers. Bangkok, metropolitan Bangkok tends to be, an initial focus. Obviously, if you're in the food service business, then all those outlying islands, present great opportunities and the like. But from a supply chain perspective, you do need to consider, obviously, not only getting your products to Thailand, but then how those products are going to be moved around in Thailand. Obviously, in terms of economic and cultural. Thailand over the years has been through a lot of challenges, obviously, with from a political standpoint. There have been ongoing challenges there, which, I wouldn't say a black mark against Thailand from a distribution perspective, but they do cause disruption.
You need to be aware of them.
Yeah, one note that I would make, though, on Thailand is that, you've had a real, especially over the last 10, 12 years since we've been doing business in Thailand, we've seen a real emergence of premium grocery. You've got beautiful retail outlets, supermarket outlets that even put some in Singapore to shame, I would say. You've got beautiful outlets. You've got a good range of both kind of national, larger format stores, smaller format stores, independent and national chains. So, for Australian brands looking at Thailand, I think there definitely is an opportunity there. But like anything, it's about focusing on the right consumer, the right channel, and really starting in a very focused way and then growing the business out from there.
Right. So we've touched on what some of these might be. The top 3 challenges for an Australian company looking to head into Thailand.
Yeah,
obviously the fact, logistics would really come into that, wouldn't it, after we spoke about it earlier?
Yeah, look, logistics is a challenge. Obviously, the supply chain and the cool chain has improved remarkably, over the last 10 years. Absolutely. Traditionally, the regulatory side has been a bit of a trip up for brands looking at entering Thailand. Once you've appointed your importer and distributor, that importer and distributor then needs to kind of lodge a product registration with the local Food and Drug Administration. That requires documents, it requires packaging shots, all these types of things, which the importer and distributor will request from the brand owner. Then they will have to lodge that application with the government. That process can take anywhere from a month to 6 months, depending on the category, to go through. So whereas in Singapore, you find your importer and distributor, you can ship your goods immediately. In Thailand, you need to work through that process of appointing your importer and distributor, then having them register the products and then, roll out from there. Customs was a challenge, 10 years ago in terms of delays and challenges with getting goods through customs and the like, but it's very much modernized, I would say. Nowadays, you don't see the same challenges that you used to have with clearing goods through customs. So I think that's great. So yeah, I would say those are the major challenges. Supply chain, I think, is a challenge, as well as the cool chain is part of that supply chain, obviously, but then regulatory front as well. But on the regulatory side, it has improved remarkably, since we started our business 12 years ago.
Wow, well, that's great to hear. Now, what categories, what categories perform better in Thailand, or which ones are performing really well at the moment?
Okay, yeah, look, I'd touch on food service first, because obviously Thailand is a massive tourist market, and whereas grocery products are confined to a grocery environment, we've got, and if you look at COVID and the effect that had on the food service business, it was awful. So during normal times, there is a real opportunity for food service suppliers who supply good product at a good price, to whether it's in primary produce or whether it's in finished products and food service usage. I think there is a big opportunity there, and food service is about quality and price. So if you tick the boxes on those two areas, then you're going to do okay. From a grocery perspective, we're seeing increased demand in the chilled and frozen space for more premium products, whether it's dairy, whether it's primary products or seafood or the like. And obviously that's on the back of the increase in in supply chain and cool chain capability. So I think there's some good stuff happening there. I talked about the premiumization of the grocery business in Thailand, and look, you'd be amazed at some of the luxury goods, that wouldn't typically sell in a Coles or Woolies, just because of the base type of consumer in Coles and Woolies. But some of these premium outlets are selling beautiful European cheeses, caviars, these types of products. And I'm not saying that that's where necessarily the opportunity is, but if you are a producer of premium products that don't typically sell in supermarket channels in Australia always, but maybe only the premium ones, then there's certainly an opportunity there as well. But look, generally, I think in terms of categories, there's good opportunity across all categories, and I've talked about this before, but it's really about just getting the fundamentals right on price, on distribution, on marketing strategy, to make sure that you're really optimizing your chances of getting your product, in the right channel at the right price, in front of the right consumers effectively, right? Because at the end of the day, it's pure economics. You've got offering that's going to sit well in the market and be appreciated by the retailers and the consumers.
I mean, as we talk about in all of these markets, it's the importance, if not critical nature, of doing your research across every aspect of entering that market is so vital to whether you're going to succeed or not.
Absolutely.
So just before we wrap up, what does, look into your crystal ball, and what does Thailand sort of offer or for Australian exporters, into the future? Is Thailand a country they should be prioritising?
Look, it depends on your expectation, I guess. I mean, Thailand, like I mentioned, towards the start, it is still emerging, from an imported food and beverage sector business. Whereas markets like Singapore, perhaps Malaysia, are somewhat saturated, with brands and the like. Thailand, there's still room for new imported brands in the Thailand market. I think, you've got a significant population in Thailand. You've got growing middle class income. All the economic indicators are looking good. You've got the premiumization of grocery and the like, and there are some beautiful beautiful storefronts and the like. The other thing that is a beneficial to Australian brands as well is we have a free trade agreement with Thailand, right? So we've got a significant leg up when it comes to not having to pay import tariffs and duties and the like, versus say products from the UK, from Europe, from America, etc. So while costs of production maybe medium to high from an international standard in Australia, the savings that you can get from using that free trade agreement definitely level the playing field a little bit. So yeah, I think I think it's a long burn or a medium to long burn. It's not an immediate gratification market. It takes some time and some legwork to do it well. But I think if brands are patient and they get the right partnerships in place and market, then they can do well in that market.
Yeah. Well, fantastic insights yet again. Thank you for filling us in, Cameron, and thanks everyone for tuning in as well. And stay tuned for one of the other episodes that may appeal to you.